Hello everyone, and thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this video here. My name is Miss Gibes, Gibes, and I included a couple photos of myself so that way you can put a face to the name. I also included my two lovely cats here. One of them's Patches, she's about 8 years old, and I've got Nugget, who's only about a year and a little bit. They're little troublemakers. I also included a picture of my big old family because they are absolutely important to me. The majority of them live in the suburbs of Chicago, and so this was just a photo we attempted to take at Christmas, and so I think there was maybe 34, 35 of us there. So that was all the Polish people in our family. I also wanted to include a couple of things that I enjoy doing just so you can kind of get to know me as a person overall, not just as a teacher. So one thing I absolutely love doing is baking. I love cake decorating and just making all sorts of desserts, and so I included a cake I made recently. It's a Dungeons and Dragons cake with the dragon guarding all the lovely gold, and a cake I made for my family just for fun. And then macaroons have been something I've been absolutely loving lately. They're a lot of fun and a little bit of a challenge, but exciting. I included a picture of myself scuba diving because I have started scuba diving not too long ago, just about 2 years, a little over 2 years, and I became a scuba diving instructor. And so that's me with a lovely whale shark there just hanging out. And then I also love doing arts and craftsy type things. So one of them is crocheting, and so I make these cute little creatures for family and friends. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, right? That's where my entire family is living pretty much right now. And I went to college at Calvin College in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They recently changed the name to Calvin University. While there, I studied secondary education, and mathematics was my major. And I have a minor in earth and space science. So that first photo of me was up in the rocks digging for some aquamarine. So that's my science piece that comes out every now and again. This is my 5th year teaching overall. I taught in the western slope of Colorado before, and this is only my 2nd year here at Erie, and I absolutely love it. It's the people I work with in my department are absolutely amazing. I did take 2 years off because I went to Thailand. That's where I became a scuba diving instructor, but I also taught abroad, and I was placed in a kindergarten classroom where I taught them English, and then I also met with the 5th and 6th grade classes at the school, and I did do some math there as well. I do love to travel, so I had to go when I had the opportunity to do so. The main reason why you're here is to talk about the classes your students are in. So that's going to be either geometry, pre-calc, trig, honors, or it's going to be guided study. So geometry is a regular level course that I am teaching, and so I have the breakdown of the grade percentages there. And so this is just the natural flow that students go into after Algebra 1. Pre-calc honors, this is going to be a class that is at a little bit faster of a pace because it is an honors class, and we go a little deeper than the regular pre-calc trig class would with the material. Guided study is going to be for students that need that extra bit of time with an instructor. So myself and Mr. Colasso are in there, and we help the students out with any of their math work that they need, clarify any misconceptions or anything that they still don't understand from the lesson. I included photos of calculators that we highly recommend that every student has. The TI-84s are the most popular. Lately they've been coming out with the CE, so they're a little fancier, but they all do the same thing for the most part. The only thing is the TI-83, if you're going to be taking AP stats, if that's your plan, definitely go for a TI-84 because the TI-83 is missing a couple of functions, operations that you will need in AP stats. And if you're not able to get one of these types of calculators, a scientific one will get them by, but we do a bunch of graphing, and so being able to have a graphing calculator is very helpful. And if you go into self-service, or your child goes into self-service, they should be able to still install the TI Inspire app. And so that one is a graphing calculator. There is a little bit of a learning curve with figuring out how that works, and I could help them as much as I can, but I'm definitely not a pro at that app. But it is a better option than maybe the regular calculator on the iPad or on their cell phones. More specifically towards geometry here, I included what my screenshots look like of my Schoology page. So I have it broken down by unit. And so everything that your child would need for Unit 1 is going to be in the Unit 1 folder. That includes their note packet, the blank one, the video links, any homework PDFs that they need, a way to submit their homework, quizzes that they're going to take on Fridays, and then quick little video checks that we do during class sometimes. I broke down the Unit 1 videos folder because I wanted to show how intentional I'm trying to be with keeping the kids organized and not confused about what I am expecting them to do. So I label the lessons with the name that matches up in their note packet, and then also the day that they need to have that video watched by. And then I just included a screenshot of one of the front page of the note packet, because I give the students an idea of when every assignment is due, as long as nothing has changed because something came up. But it also includes the quiz dates, and so that's going to be every Friday for the most part. And I also try to give them a heads up as to what kind of material is going to be on that quiz, as well as the test date. I also included a link to my WebEx room for easy access, a link to my Calendly where they will be able to schedule an appointment on Friday if they want extra help one-on-one with me. And then also I know this time is really difficult for a lot of people, and so being able to talk to their counselor at school is going to be helpful for them. So I included a link for them to be able to set up an appointment with them as well. I did those links as well in all of my other courses, pre-calc and guided study. For pre-calc honors, I do have the same setup by units. Same thing with the unit videos. I make sure I write down exactly when I want those videos completed by. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much the same for setup. The only difference here is pre-calc trig honors. Because it's an honors class, we want them to be a little bit more responsible and intentional with the notes that they are taking. And so they do not get a note packet. They need to come up with their own notes while watching those videos. For guided study, it's the same sort of thing, except we don't have units because this is kind of just a time for the students to work individually. We do warm-ups though. And so every day at the beginning of class, we do 2 warm-up questions, and they might be an Algebra 1 skill review. It might include some SAT questions, and it could also be some material that they're covering in geometry and Algebra 2, depending on which class they are in, just kind of reinforcing those new concepts they are learning. And then we do cool downs at the end of the class period as well that are similar to those. And so that's how they get their participation points. And so if they are not coming to class, they are going to be missing out on those points. Fridays are a little different. I just upload a PDF and they have to complete those problems, which have been similar to the ones they've been working on during the week, and get that one submitted for me. Grading wise, I do grade in Schoology and in Infinite Campus. For Schoology, this is where the students will access any work, so any of those PDFs. That's where their quizzes will be. And this is also where they turn everything in. I repeat, I do not want to get any emails with assignments because it can very easily get lost in my email. I might click on it, read it, but then I don't have Schoology open to put in the grade, so I forget. So as long as there is a submission in Schoology, I will get it graded. I do also leave comments on the submissions that students make. I try to be really good about that one because I don't get to have that one-on-one interaction in the classroom right now. And so I'm leaving comments about the homework and whether they're doing it correctly, if they're showing enough work, maybe something that they keep mixing up, maybe they forget how to graph points, all of that. And so I told the students to keep their notifications on for comments. So hopefully they did that one. Infinite Campus, this is where you will be able to see the student's official grade. Whenever I transfer over grades from Schoology to Infinite Campus, everything shows up there, and you can actually see what percentage, what grade your child has. This is also where you're going to see if your child has a missing assignment. I do not put missings in Schoology because then I don't get notified when there's a submission. So I only put missings into Infinite Campus. I will accept any late work until the day of the unit test. After the unit test, I will no longer accept work from that unit. So that is when I will go in and turn any M's into a 0 if no submission has been made. As a parent or guardian, what can you do to help me or your child out? So the biggest thing is going to be to check Schoology often and check IC often, especially for those missing assignments. Making sure that your child stays as up to date and on the same unit, on the same lessons, on the same homework as everyone else in class is super beneficial. All right, because that way they can ask questions in real time and they don't get mixed up because they skipped a lesson. Because like math is in almost every single subject in the math field, it builds on itself. So if you skip a lesson or you miss a lesson, you are going to have a tougher time in the upcoming lessons. Encourage your student or your child to reach out. Reach out for help during class time. During Fridays, they can schedule that meeting through that Calendly link I have in Schoology if they want more one-on-one. I cannot stress that enough. I have so many students who are really quiet and really shy and get nervous talking in front of a lot of people in the WebEx meeting. And so I let the students work independently and they can sign off of WebEx, hoping to encourage the students that are a little more nervous to talk with 20 other students around. This way they have the opportunity to talk to me and maybe 1 or 2 other students that are still on the WebEx. Otherwise, they can reach out on Friday. Also, you can reach out to me. Let me know if there's anything going on at home that makes it tougher for them to log in on time or get those assignments turned in when I expect them to be turned in. Maybe there's internet issues or some sort of family emergency came up. Reaching out and letting me know about these things is very helpful because I know sometimes the students are nervous to come up with that stuff on their own. So I included my email down here for that. For those of you who do not know it, my first name is a little wonky. It's Polish, so Katarzyna. Please, 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 please reach out to me and have your students reach out to me as well, right? That's the biggest thing right now when we can't meet face to face. Thank you all for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to do so. I hope to hear from you sometime soon. Thanks.